Hello, and welcome back to Monetize Me. My name is Jay, and today we finally tackle the struggle of choosing between Roth and traditional. Well, first off, before we get started, let's define the two. Roth and traditional are the two types of contributions that you can make to a retirement account. Now, whether that's a 401k, an IRA, a TSP, a TSA, or whatever other type of account you have available to you, this is simply the type of contribution that you're making. So what's the difference? Well, Roth is referring to retirement contributions that use after-tax dollars. So you make money, income tax then comes out, and then you can use some of that money to contribute to your retirement account. Any gains made in these accounts are tax-free once you get to retirement, as long as you've held the account for more than 5 years. And in 2021, the current age of retirement is 59 and a half. You're also free to withdraw those contributions from this account at any time, so long as you don't take out any of the earnings. Traditional, on the other hand, is referring to retirement contributions using pre-tax dollars. You contribute a portion of your salary to your account, usually in the form of a percentage, before any taxes are taken out. You then receive the rest of your salary as income and are taxed accordingly. The money you have in these accounts then grows throughout the years until you reach retirement, at which point, when you start to make your withdrawals, the money you take out is then taxed at your current income tax rate. In addition, because your contributions have not been taxed yet, you cannot withdraw your contributions from these accounts without a penalty. Now, there are options to get your money out in the case of an emergency, such as borrowing against your account. However, these should be avoided at all costs and only ever considered when you've exhausted every other option. So why choose one over the other? Well, efficiency. Because Roth contributions are using after-tax dollars, they'll end up saving you money so long as you're in a lower tax bracket now, when you're paying those taxes, than you plan on being in retirement. Traditional contributions, on the other hand, are going to be saving you more money if you're in a higher tax bracket now than you plan on being in retirement, because it's at that point that you're going to be paying all the taxes. Now, given all this, there are 3 scenarios that we can then analyze. 1, having a lower tax bracket now than we plan on being in retirement. 2, having the same tax bracket both now and in retirement. And 3, being in a higher tax bracket now than we plan on being in retirement. So, the first case, I'm in a lower tax bracket now than I plan on being in retirement. In this case, you're going to want to make Roth contributions as long as it's available, regardless of how much you plan on contributing. Now, some 401ks don't have a Roth option, but you always have a Roth IRA available to you, so long as you fall under the maximum adjusted gross income limit, which currently in 2021 is $140,000. And if you don't fall under that limit, you still have the backdoor option available to you. This is where you put your money into a traditional IRA, which for some reason doesn't have that limit, and then immediately convert it to a Roth. And as always, you should definitely consult your financial advisor before making any decisions. Now for the second case. I'm in the same tax bracket now that I plan on being in retirement. In this case, if you have a set amount that you plan on contributing, then it doesn't really matter. By set amount, I mean I have $500 of my monthly income that I plan on setting aside for retirement. This is money from your paycheck before any taxes are taken out that you allocate specifically to saving for retirement. As long as you're going to be living in the same state and therefore have the same state income tax as well as federal income tax both now and in retirement, then it doesn't really matter. Taking a set percentage out before or after experiencing a set amount of growth doesn't affect the end result. So the only way for you to be affected would be if you moved states and thus went up or down in the amount of state income tax you're paying. Now for the third case. I'm in a higher tax bracket now than I plan on being in retirement. So, if like the second case, you have a set amount of money before any taxes are taken out that you plan on allocating towards saving for retirement, then traditional contributions will probably make the most sense. The only extra thing to consider would be again if you're planning on moving states between now and retirement, and whether that means you'll actually end up with higher income tax in retirement than you have now. Now, if you plan on maxing out your contributions every single year, then there is one key detail you should consider. A maxed out Roth contribution will be $19,500 after taxes are taken out, and a maxed out traditional contribution will be $19,500 before taxes are taken out. So, in a theoretical scenario where your income tax rate is 25% both now and in retirement, then a maxed out traditional contribution of $19,500 pre-tax is really worth $14,625 after tax, versus a maxed out Roth contribution of $19,500 after tax is really worth $26,000 pre-tax. Therefore, using Roth contributions, you end up with $6,500 in additional tax-incentivized savings that you can now invest. Now, I'm also going to assume that you invest that $6,500 in a normal brokerage account outside of your traditional 401k. In this case, even if you're in a lower tax bracket in retirement than you are now, if the difference in income tax isn't big enough, then you still be better off contributing with Roth contributions. This concept is something you should thoroughly consider when you're planning out which contributions you want to be making. It's also something you should reconsider as time goes on. Tax laws can change. Your income can change. Your environment can change. And with these changes, what made sense in the past may no longer be the best option. Financial success is not obtained by making one correct decision with your money. It's a collection of all the decisions you make, right and wrong, over time that will determine whether or not you're successful. So keep learning, keep saving, and keep investing. You got this. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you all, and have a good one.